Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you to a special edition. I have a very special guest today. You know, there are people in the world that take a look at the world and they ask themselves the question, how can I make this better? How can I make that better? How can I change the landscape of this so people do not have to go through extraordinary pain? Jason Bhimji is joining me here today. Why? Because this is an entrepreneur. No, actually, that's not the right word. This is somebody that lives a vision, acts the vision, enacts the vision, and changes people's lives. That's the bottom line with today's show. Let me tell you why I wanted to talk with Jason. I am a member and passionate about a service that is offered. And you're going to probably ask me why. And I'm going to tell you, here's why. Write this down. 2 words, 1 word, 1 website. Legal Shield. Just write it down. Write it down. Write it 2 words. Write it 1 word, but I want you to write it down. Here's why. I cannot tell you how much I didn't know about what I didn't know, and I didn't have a good place to go. And I went to a number of other places where I thought I was getting the information I needed. Everything about reading trademark documents, to reading personal documents, to understanding documents, period. How many of you have signed contracts that are for loans and you haven't read them? Why haven't you read them? Well, can't afford a lawyer, don't have a service. But you see, there's a pain point for all of us. What if I were to tell you that there was a place you could go, that there was something that you could definitely afford, not the $450 an hour legal fees that you pay to read a document that basically takes 10 minutes to read, but for them, 2 hours. What if I were to tell you that there is a resource? What if I were to tell you that Jason's passion and purpose to make sure that all of us understand that life changes lead to innovations? And one of those innovations we're going to talk about today. Jason, it's great to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor.
You know, I only mentioned a couple of pain points, but I believe that those of us that experience pain, that go through life, we do one of 2 things with it. We either learn from it and grow from it, or we don't. And in this case, it's learning and growing. So tell me about what you're, and by the way, love the one day at a time. One day. Yeah. I don't know if you're like a friend of Bill's or not, but I am. One day at a time is the way we go.
That's what it's about.
Right? Okay. Legal Shield. Now, I don't want to mention names, but I have been through many, many, many other subscriptions, services, and they have pretty much all failed me. My latest failure has been for my nonprofit. I hope I can save it. But what was in your heart when you looked at this after owning 11 companies and have your sights on more? What was it about this that touched your heart where you said, I have got to do something different?
Well, so I had actually been wanting to get in the subscription business for quite some time. The subscription model is very intriguing to me because, you know, do something once and you get paid over and over and over and over and over of the lifetime of that customer. So if you have a good service or a good product, then that lifetime of the customer can be very, very long, you know, which is a beautiful thing. But with this actual service, I had no clue about it. I had no clue that it even existed because I was paying, you know, $25,000 probably every quarter on my lawyer fees and getting them to review contracts and documents and trademark my logos and copyright my stuff and everything. So I'm over here like, wow, this service really would have saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars. But what really touched me and actually got me to open my eyes about this was the fact that I think it was about 17 months ago, my kid's mom actually passed away, unexpectedly passes away, right? So now I have been a very busy person. We weren't together, but we've been co-parenting like the best of us. I'm telling you, like it's funny. We got along better after we were together, like after we broke up than when we were together. But either way, we have two amazing kids, and I'm very blessed to be able to say that. And unfortunately, though, I've been taking care of my daughter since she's 3. I'm not her biological father, but that is my daughter. I taught her how to ride her bike, tie her shoes, taught her all about all kinds of things, being a father and responsible male for role model for her life. And one thing that ripped me apart was the fact that because we did not have a will set up, my kids are separated. So when I seen the service, I said, oh my God, I could be the answer for so many people. I could be out there educating the masses about this service, and I could really be out here helping millions of families not to have to be in the same situation as me and my kids. Because I can tell you, the worst thing in the world is having to say goodnight to your kids while they're in 2 different states and seeing them cry. And then us having it's the absolute worst. So I am so passionate, and I am so excited that God put me in this position to be able to have me be the person that had to go through that pain. But he understood that I was the person, that I have the drive, I have the willingness, and I have the resources to get this out to millions and millions of people.
Yeah. And see, that's what I love about this, because you and I come from pain points in our lives, right? Every once in a while, I'll tell a story about being homeless at 17 and what I learned from that. And now I get paid a lot of money to go to corporations and do a talk called I Learned Everything About Sales, Marketing, and Customer Service from Selling a Hot Dog from a Hot Dog Cart, right? And that's a true story, by the way. But what didn't I know? I didn't know the proper legal documents. Even today, as recently as this moment, I am in a trademark battle for a trademark on a word that I made up. And what we're talking about here, no kidding. I know you're looking at me like, really?
Wow.
It is beneath me to understand. I made up a word. It's called unstuckable. And I cannot believe what people will do. But the point is, I don't know what I don't know. So when I look at when I'm talking about Legal Shield and when I'm thinking about what you all are doing, I now have a place to go where if I have a document, somebody can read it. I want to ask you about this, and I want to talk to your story.
Sure.
Every day I meet people that don't know what they don't know until they hear a story like yours. And what we're here to say, don't let this be your story.
100%.
Don't be the one that doesn't get the trademark documents reviewed, that doesn't have a will. And may I make a plug for this? Power of attorney. Write those words down. Get it. Get the documents reviewed by people. See, that's what you're doing. Most people don't have a place to go to even know if what they're doing, Jason, is what it is the right thing to do. Tell us about the foundational pieces for what you all have created and how many different services. What can people expect? That's what I want to do. How can we help people?
Well, a lot of people are always like, okay, well, the membership's only $38 a month, right? For the legal plan, $35 for the identity protection to cover your whole family. So $72 for the whole plan, which is literally what, like $2.40 a day. Not even a cup of coffee.
It's nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Because think about it. If you were to have to get for a retainer of a lawyer, you're dropping $2,500 to $5,000, $10,000, just depending on what's going on. With us, you pay, the $40 a month, or if you're getting the combo plan with the ID Shield and the legal, you're paying what, $850 for the whole year, and you're fully covered. Now, what you can expect. So I love the fact that with this service, now think about it like this. When we were younger, our parents used to have to, when we used to have to go shopping, our parents used to have to load us up into the car. They would have to get us all ready, dressed, load us up in the car. We'd have to drive across town. We'd have to shop for a couple hours. Then we'd bag all the groceries up, put them in the car, drive back across town, bring the groceries inside, and now you can do whatever you got to do. Now, How do people shop?
Online.
Exactly. So Amazon has disrupted.
Guilty,
Me too.
guilty.
Oh, me too. So Amazon has disrupted the retail industry, right? You will never see retail be the same because of the way people shop online. The accessibility is there. People are lazier than ever. So if we can have it right there at a click of a button, people will use it, right? Same thing with music. Music, Pandora, Apple Music, YouTube Music. They have changed the industry. They have changed the way we listen to music. We are doing the same thing with the legal system. We've created an app, and all you have to do is once you're a member, you plug in your membership number, and your all your services are right there for you. So anytime you need a consult, which another thing, you have unlimited consults to any lawyers at any time, which is huge because most consults cost anywhere from $200 to $400. You know,
Easily.
again, however much that lawyer costs, that's pretty much what you're looking at per hour. So for us, you get unlimited consultations. You know, you get a will, estate planning, power of attorney, all for free. You have a lawyer to be able to write letters on your behalf, to make phone calls on your behalf. Now check this out. Okay, say we buy this product right here,
Yeah.
$200 earphones. We'll just say that, $200. We know that a lawyer costs us $300 per hour. Now check, if we buy this product, we go home, we charge it and it doesn't work. We bring it back to the store. They say, sorry, it's not our policy. You brought it out of the store. We don't do any returns. Well, it's not my policy to buy stuff that's broken, right? So we can have our lawyer write a letter on our behalf with the stamp of their letterhead. How much do you want to bet that lawyer or these services or whatever we're needing, they're either going to give us what we need or give us our money back? Would you agree?
I'm telling you that we just don't even understand how underrepresented and underprotected we are. We don't even get it. You know, with that question, right? Do you know what people do now? They would rather pay the money for a broken piece of something than to go through I just went through this, than to go through the agony of even trying to explain what to do with it. But let me talk to your point. I'm telling you all out there, if you are an entrepreneur or in a business, this is something you really need to look at and do. Why? Because when you step into the world of business, you don't know what you don't know. And you just brought up something, but I want to tell you, I am now having to hire people to write cease and desist letters. What? But that's not the only thing. There are so many aspects of life, whether you're a business person or not. Just like you said, you're buying a product, it doesn't work, right? The industry counts on you and me not going through the pain of returning it, argue with them, or doing anything. Don't you think the industry now, especially the online industry, they are really counting on us not really sending that thing back?
100%. And it's happening every day to thousands and thousands of people. But, you know, the beautiful thing is the fact that we are the solution to any of that, because that's just a few things that our membership includes. You know, we also, just with that $37.95 a month, that covers you, your spouse, doesn't have to be husband or boyfriend. It could be girlfriend, as long as you live in the same roof, underneath the same roof, and then up to 10 children, up to the age of 18. Now,
Wow.
if the kids are in school, in college, or in the military, they are covered up to the age of 26. If you have any mentally disabled or handicapped children, they're included in the membership for the lifetime of the parents. So that's
Wow.
another beautiful thing. I love the fact that this company doesn't nickel and dime. So many companies, you have to buy the membership for you, your husband, your kids, and it's just crazy. So here, they are not like that. Everything is included in one. So again, you have 60 hours of a trial defense attorney built into the membership. We live in USA nowadays. So the fact that we have the ability to be able to be covered, if you Googled, if anybody's online right now and watching our show, Google how much a trial defense attorney costs in your state. And typically it's going to be anywhere from $500 to $800, $900 an hour. So we'll just go on the minimal. $500 times 60 is $30,000 that you're saving. God forbid you get sued with this $38 membership. And even amazing thing is the fact that if you don't lose it, or if you don't use it, you don't lose it. It gets stacked up for 5 years. Same thing with our tax audit assistance. You get 25 hours built into the membership. If you ever get audited, if you don't use it, it gets stacked up for 5 years and 125 hours. So that right there, it goes over pretty much the basics of what our coverage is. But even better, if you ever are a member with us and you get a DUI or a criminal charge or something that we don't cover, you actually get a 25% discount, which is insane. It's unheard of. You never hear of lawyers ever giving any kind of discounts, right? So
Well,
go ahead.
but what I love about what you're saying is, and I want to make this clear to everybody, because I was a member of another subscription and I thought I'm going to get this and I'm going to get this and I'm going to get this. And then I go to get it and it's like, oh, that's $450. And then there's this. And now you get the consultant. But let's talk about this, because when I look at Legal Shield, let me just be very, very clear what people are looking at. You need help with estate planning? Boom. How about if you're a renter, right? Do you even know? Wait a minute. Small business plans. Are you a small business owner? Family law, the quagmire of family law. And here's the big one that I didn't expect here. This is what I didn't expect. Employment law. And so when you put these all together and then you look at what you're doing, individuals and families, right? 26.95 or something like that. Small businesses, 40.
So the small business is really a beautiful thing, because if any entrepreneur ever has to put any kind of retainer for a business lawyer, they're looking at minimum $5,000, right? So with our service, it costs $113.90 for the middle plan. Most people get the middle plan because you only need 3 users. Most people don't have more than 3 partners or HR people that need to use the service, but you're allowed to have up to 3 members per membership with that business plan. So I always tell people like this, it's $113.90. That's going to give you 100 hours of a trial defense attorney. Again, if it's $500 an hour, that's $50,000 of savings that we have for this trial defense. The ability to be able to get a free trademark or copyright. Now, right there, that's saving them $1,000 to $2,000 right off the rip, which will pay for your membership for the whole year plus some. So now we can really leverage the fact that you're going to get this membership for free in theory, because it's paying for itself by just getting one membership or one thing done, like the trademark or copyright. And the fact that you can get one every year for free. You know, you can have a lawyer to be able to have unlimited amounts of consultations with 1 hour of research per consultation. Right there alone. Research is not cheap to be able to get done from paralegals. So if a lawyer is charging $500 an hour, then the paralegal might be charging $250. You know, you're still having to pay for it. So the fact that ours is all free, then you have lawyers to be able to review documents, to be able to write contracts. And with the business page, you know, with the business membership, I can go and get a 25-page contract written up for $250.
Yeah.
$10 a page.
You know what I love about this is, and you know, we're going to make sure everybody has got the website to go to. I want to break this down a little bit. Scenario, right? And this is why I became a part of Legal Shield, because I didn't understand everything you offer. So I looked at the renter's deal where it said get help with landlord disputes, drafting a lease, and more. But the breakdown of what you do is phenomenal. Estate planning, protect your family, power of attorney, trust, real estate agreements, help with that, HOA matters. I mean, then you take a look at the civil litigation. What? You're even going to do that? See, when I looked at the details of this, I thought, wow, I'm going to get a couple of things. But now I'm looking at civil litigation, contracts and agreements. And these are the kinds of things you don't think about. What if you have a fender bender? What if something happens and you have a moving box? Well, how about consumer affairs? How about driving? How about everything that you intellectual property? Right now, I'm having an intellectual property issue. So I definitely, I'm telling you in a hot minute. But think about it. We're coming to a place that is pretty much a one-stop shop.
Yeah, with the identity protection, that once we tell people about that, they're, oh my goodness.
I got a pop-up that came to me that told me there are 12 sites that are selling your personal information. And I'm like, okay, what do I do with that? But the fact that you've included that in the subscription options, tell me about that, because that's a game changer. That's not even a marginal kind of asset. That is, everybody on the planet needs to have that.
I wish I could share my screen just to show people like how simple it is to use these services. But with the ID Shield, it's insane, and it doesn't take very long to understand it. Our government only covers us up to $250,000 in our bank accounts. With our membership, for $20 for an individual or $35 for the whole family, you are 100% covered for up to $3 million. God forbid you were to get hacked. God forbid somebody were to come into your bank account and steal all your money. You're covered up to $3 million, right? Then, not to mention, our company will put a licensed private investigator on your account at no additional cost to get your accounts back to pre-hack status after you get breached or hacked. So I've had so many friends that had 750 credit score, 800 credit score, and after they get hacked, it goes down to 400. With this service, some of my friends, it's taken 300 or 400 hours of this private investigator's time, and they have never gotten one invoice. They don't get charged anything until that they never will get charged anything, because that's just a part of our membership. And the fact that we have added so much into it. We added anti-malware. We added a VPN for anybody that's traveling and needs to get into some secured Wi-Fi. We added a pop-up to where we can plug in somebody's address, and every single sex offender within 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, 4 mile, 5 mile will pop up. And if you click on their red little thing that pops up, it'll show their address, it'll show their name, it'll show a picture of them. So if you see them walking your streets, you know exactly who the scumbags are, to protect your kids, your grandkids. And I get passionate about this because I was molested when I was a child. So
Yeah.
that's something I don't play with. You know what I mean? So, whew, man.
You and me
Sorry.
both. I mean, no,
Mm,
I'm telling you, now you're talking my language,
mm.
because when those of us that have gone through that experience as children, we are called to do things like what you're doing here, because you can't erase it, but we can help others prevent it.
We also can't help people that if I haven't been through the situations that I've been in my life, then I can't
Right?
help people that are going through those situations, because I can't feel for them.
Nope.
I can't know how to relate. And with me, and I'm telling you, we could have a podcast for hours, and I have had the craziest life. And I used to think so much. I used to think, man, God, if it was real, why would you be putting me through all this? Why
Me
would you
too.
and it's like, and now I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed for everything he's put me through, because I laugh now, because I'm like, man, if I wouldn't have been through that, then I wouldn't have known how to deal with this situation. And now I'm just like, thank you, for everything that you did to me, no matter how hard it was. It was everything I needed.
Yeah. You see, this is the part that we should do a follow-up podcast and really talk about, where does the passion and the purpose come from that motivates us? That somebody like us, now we have a new term, especially for me growing up, being called slow, because I learned different. Now I'm called neurodivergent, right? But back then, you're slow. We're going to hold you back. You get this. Oh my gosh, you're stuttering. You got to go in a special class. You see, these are the things we do without understanding, but we don't understand, well, how did she get that way? What happens to us? But you see, what you're talking about and what I'm talking about, we both come from different places, but I will tell you this. Our journeys are very similar, right? My mom commits suicide. I'm age 6 years old, drugs, alcohol. But that's why you and I are doing what we're doing. That's why today's show is so passion filled, because we're not just talking about a subscription here. We're talking about ways to make your life better, and in some cases, save your life. Isn't that what we're here to do for people?
100%. And the fact too is, like, there is nothing like peace of mind. I know there are a ton of parents out there right now that have their kids in college, or, their kids going out with friends that they might not like, or maybe that think that they're the best people to hang around. Even with our service, the fact that we can have our kids a part of our memberships, there's a 24/7 emergency line, to where if any of our kids get in a situation or pulled over, they're getting mistreated, they're getting, their rights, kind of not really held up right. If they're getting bullied by police officers, you can tap a button inside of your legal shield, and within 90 seconds, a lawyer will be there to have your back and protect you, to make sure that they're not getting bullied, your kids aren't getting bullied, your wife, your grandparents, doesn't matter who it is, anybody in your family, and it's so important because I personally, the peace of mind that I have, knowing that my businesses are protected, that my trademarks are done, my logos are copyrighted, everything is good. Like everything is good. And I feel happy, but I also feel like I haven't done anything because I haven't been out there enough yet to get it out there to the masses. So that's what we're going to do.
I love it. Jason, I want to thank you. And I'm going to take you up on coming back and us having a conversation about how do our life circumstances turn out to be a life of complete service. If you will come back, I'd love to do that show with you.
It would be an honor. That would be amazing.
One last question. I would love to know your personal message and what you'd like to leave us with today.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
I love that. And
guys, real quick, if anybody has any questions, if anybody has anything and we just need to have a conversation, feel free to let us know. I will have no problem setting up a quick 10-minute conversation to where we can jump on a Zoom or a call, and I can go over the best packages that could be a fit for your budget and for your business, for your life. So please reach out to us. We got your back all day.
Yeah, it's like I told somebody the other day about who I was talking to about this. You can't afford not to do it. And how do I know? Because I've been down that pathway. And the good news for me is I don't have to stay down that pathway. Jason, thank you so much for everything you're doing. I can't wait for part 2.
I'm right there with you. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. More to come. Remember, we're going to give you lots of information on how you can find out more. Both myself and Jessica, we're all part of helping you. Why? Because we've seen the other side of what happens when you don't get help. We'll see you next time. Hey, everyone. For more information, we have 2 ways for you to reach out to us. If you want to reach out to me directly, simply go to epicchanges.com. Don't forget, Jessica is at the helm of this. If you want to reach out to her, please reach out to her at epiccthriving.com. That's epicchanges.com for me and epiccthriving.com for Jessica. We'll see you soon.